High ground is super overpowered in Fortnite. We can tell that because we're here wearing a green superhero skin. We flank our opponent, we crouch, we absolutely light him up, and before he could build, he was already knocked. This clip is a great example of why you should always spray, because you don't know how much damage you're actually going to do, especially in a scenario like this where there's like 4 or 5 people. Notice how he ADSs from behind his builds and then moves out to the right, and he continues to keep spraying over and over again before eventually pushing up after he pops his splashes. Now, it's very important to note that he has done a lot of damage in this fight before I was able to actually start recording. So he's actually pushing, and he's pushing from multiple different angles. He should have told his teammate that there's a guy chilling into the right, and what he does is he notices him, pulls out the shotgun, and then proceeds to absolutely eliminate him, and then they actually win this fight very, very easily. This situation is all about remaining calm. Notice how they're popping one of these chug barrels. They're just chilling and healing up, but out of nowhere an opponent down below them starts spraying their floor and drops them down. Notice how calm this guy remains, and that's what allows him to hit such a high damage shot. He doesn't jump anywhere, he just literally remains very still on the staircase, and that allowed him to hit one precise shot. Crosshair placement is important in any game, but specifically Fortnite. Now look how this guy just keeps his crosshair. He does try to hit a pre-fire, it didn't work out. He flips the ramp though and keeps his crosshair at head level, does very little movement, and easily eliminates the opponent. Now, although this clip is with the pump shotgun, notice how he actually stays close to his opponent. That's what's very important. It doesn't matter what weapon you use, it's just a lot harder for somebody to hit you when you stay close, but because he gets close, he was able to do more damage because more pellets are likely to hit the opponent. If you're in a situation where you can't use your mechanics fully in Fortnite, like this example in the background, look how you can actually do that. So what happens is this opponent claims the wall and he edits, but because he jumped, he was able to avoid getting ramped. So always think about doing that big jump as often as you can. I'm really quickly going to show you why movement is key here in Fortnite Chapter 3. So we're looking at this clip where this opponent actually gets boxed, and we break the ramp. So when we break this ramp, what happens is the opponent actually hits us, but we hit him. But because of our movement of just constantly moving instead of staying in the same area within that box, it was very easy for us to finish that fight quickly. Here's a perfect example of why ramp flips are still overpowered here in Fortnite Chapter 3. So we're in a creative game, and essentially we're trying to box our opponent. We flip this ramp and jump trying to get an overhead shot, but it does actually lead to us avoiding getting coned. We're still looking for that ramp flip, so we do it again, try to get the right hand peek. Our opponent does edit out, he takes the bait. We hit him for 79, it's a good shot, could have been better. We get close to our opponent and finish him off with 162. Here's why you should play patiently in Fortnite Chapter 3. You're going to notice that this opponent is a bit frisky. We know he's going to drop, so we be patient and we wait for him to drop before taking that shotgun shot. Here's some benefits of why you should play calmly in Fortnite Chapter 3. Notice how the opponent is super aggressive. He does get a ramp on us and he drops in, but because we stayed calm, we were able to hit that headshot. Here's why slow ramps are super important in Fortnite Chapter 3. First of all, when you edit a ramp slowly, it actually messes with the opponent's timing because Fortnite is such a fast-paced game. See what happens here? We flip it slowly, we hit him for 130. Very simple, very clean, and notice it was a half ramp. I don't have much to say other than this might be the fastest snipe in Fortnite history. Here's the perfect way to play low ground angles. Notice how we went for the cone, we didn't get it. We take a few steps back slowly and aim straight up. That way we cleaned our opponent out super efficiently. You need to be able to master changing the tempo in Fortnite Chapter 3. This opponent we're fighting basically keeps claiming the wall. We're trying to play super aggressive, and that's what you need to continue doing. Keep playing more and more aggressive to force his hand. He doesn't want to play aggressive because he's running away, so when we play super aggressive, we get in his box and finish him off super easily. Here's how to master flanks in Fortnite Chapter 3. A bit of context to this clip. Basically, this guy wiped 2 out of the 3 players and he's looking for the 3rd player. His teammate has gone around this way and he's coming around the back way. That way, no matter what, this opponent gets cut off, and that's exactly what happens. The opponent had no clue what was going on. Here's how to play passive but be aggressive at the same time in Fortnite Chapter 3. Notice how this guy is essentially just sitting on the wall and he's going to keep spraying his opponents. You'll see what he does now. He edits, continues to spray, does a lot of damage, gets them to whites, boxes up to make sure he's safe, and he re-edits to spray that metal wall. So he's applying pressure and being aggressive, but he's still staying in the same box. He's not driving at them until he knows they're super low, like he just beamed them. So they both, him and his teammate, just drive into their box and try to end this fight as quickly as possible. And that's essentially what they do. They get in the same box, boom, dead, gets in the other box, and they're dead. It's that simple. Flanking with the Spider-Man is actually something that you should consider doing more often. 9 times out of 10, the opponent doesn't even hear you, and if he does, he's going to be actually busy fighting your teammate because he's playing from a different angle. Notice how we get full piece and we take our time to hit all 3 of these shots to fully eliminate him with basically taking no damage. Being able to maintain head level aim is something that you need to master in Fortnite Chapter 3, and that's exactly what happens in this clip. Essentially, we box this opponent and keep our crosshair head level. That's how we eliminate him quickly. During your time playing Fortnite, you have more than likely came across an awkward fight where it feels like you're just constantly scuffing over and over again, and that's exactly what's happening in this situation. So we can't exactly get high ground, but what we can do is play a low ground angle and bait the opponent to open and then hit him for a high damage shot. Sometimes in Fortnite, because it's such a fast paced game, you need to swap it and play super slow. That's exactly what happens in this situation right here. So we do have high ground. Notice that we drop off high ground, try to box our opponent. He actually gets the advantage, edits and hits us for a lot of damage, which could change the aspect of the fight. But we play slow, we pull out our shotgun, making sure we've right hand peek and easily eliminate the opponent. Sometimes you also need to play super fast in Fortnite. Notice how we're basically looking for this opponent. We hit him for 116, we did trade, we flick, actually don't hit the shot, we take high ground and then instantly go down. Don't give him any time, we don't need to get even peak control, just eliminate him. Right hand peaks are still important in Fortnite Chapter 3, and I'm going to be explaining why they're important. First of all, it allows you to do more damage while taking less damage, meaning your opponent won't be able to kill you as fast if you're using right hand peaks. Notice in this situation right here that the opponent is going to build up alongside us. We do hit him for a lot of damage, but from here on out in the fight, we continue to hit right hand peaks. He drops down, so we decide to follow him, and when we do follow him, we stay on a ramp and we make sure we've right hand peak. We don't hit him for a lot, but he is white. Again, moving left, making sure we have a right hand peek, even if it's just a slight right hand peek. In a 2v1 situation, you need to do one thing: play more aggressive than the 2 of them combined. It's something so hard to do, but that's literally all you need to do. And once you're able to do that, you're going to be in a situation like this where you can easily eliminate 2 players and clutch up to save your teammate. In this fight, the reason why the opponent dies is because he turns his back on us. Notice how we're being super aggressive, we're trying to claim his wall. He does build up, so we decide to follow him. Pretty obvious thing, most people would do that. Then we actually get the cone above him and we try to just ramp up, but he actually got the floor somehow. I think he just built it through. But what happens here is actually pretty fascinating. We're kind of pressured, we're not playing it super aggressive, we're kind of clumsy with our builds. So what happens is the opponent drops down. We knew he was going to drop down, we hit him for 92, then we go for peace control, but he turns his back and runs away. So that's what actually caused him to get killed, so don't turn your back in the future. 9 times out of 10, when you're in this situation, you might not clutch it up. So I want to try and help you to make it 10 out of 10 that you do clutch this up, and it's all about playing mind games with your opponent. So basically, this is a 2v1. There's 2 guys still alive and 1 guy is downed on that team. So now it's a 1v1 and 2 guys are downed on that team because we just knocked one. Again, maintaining right hand peak. But what's important is that we go for the finish to bait out the opponent. And when we hit the finish, the opponent jumps out and we're able to get sights on him. We play in a tight right hand peak, keeping high ground, and we drop in after we hit him for the first shot. Second shot hits for 40 and we eliminate him. So I came across something pretty rare when I was analysing this piece of gameplay, and I noticed that this guy we're spectating used sound to locate his opponent super fast. I know it's weird, but that's exactly what happened. So in this situation, we knock a guy and the teammate is in the tarp with us. He hits us for a lot of damage and we can't really afford taking a 50-50 with him because the health we're on means we're going to lose the fight. So what we somehow managed to do was stay on top of the ramp, and I think we did that by holding W or forward on our movement, and it stopped us from phasing through the ramp. And basically we flipped the ramp, we locked him on the other side, and we continued to move away to create a bit of distance, and then our teammate came. And that's when I realized that's all you need to do, is to hold off enough so that way you can have a teammate to help you out.